You're a motivator for me. You get up, you work out, you talk about your workouts. You're sending that message to them every single morning. Stay committed.
I mean, that's what I hope for everyone.
Is that the reason why you post those videos every single day? Because you look like you work out pretty hard.
It's just the consistency of it. I do try to inspire others to have confidence. Okay. And so that requires a certain level of vulnerability and transparency on my part. And so I do that every day.
You also tell a story about why you moved to Atlanta. You moved to Atlanta unhappy. You say you were overweight. You moved here with a small child a number of years ago. And somehow you were able to turn your life around and get yourself on track and become a very successful entrepreneur.
Yes. So, yes, I was overweight. I was unhappy. I was just in this very blah place. And I've talked about that a lot over the years. When I moved to the Atlanta market, I just remember not only being overweight, but having lost all of my friends. I moved from North Carolina, so I'm in this new space, in this new body. I had a 9-month-old baby at the time. And I don't know if you remember, but in 2008, a whole lot of things changed with the housing market. Oh, yeah. And so it was just like it was a tough time. It was a tough time all around for everyone. But for me, it was almost as if I didn't recognize myself anymore. And so that was actually the genesis of A Lot of Fears, this whole movement with the working out and the really doing a lot of introspection and saying, how can I use my pain and help someone else?
But why would you choose Atlanta? I mean, out of all places, to come here feeling like that about yourself, no self-confidence, and you move to a city where everybody has self-confidence. Why would you pick this place out of all places?
Well, okay, so I'm going to come back to that everyone here has high self-confidence. I'm going to come back to that. But I originally moved here because I wanted to change. I wanted to be in an atmosphere. I was looking to pursue free enterprise, move into entrepreneurship. And where I was, it was college town. Very much, you do traditional things and, that's what's accepted and that's what people understand. And I moved here with the hope and dream of being around people who would really understand this, this entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. Everything I thought was going to be immediate, it really took time. And I had to settle into that.
You talk about feelings of failure. I mean, I think that's something that everybody goes through. But talk about it from your perspective.
I had gone to school to be a school administrator. Didn't hit it off with, my superior. And before I knew it, I was blacklisted. And I was like in this place of, and I'm a young woman, and I'm in this place of, wow, like, how did I get here? I don't really have any allies. I don't really have anyone who can come in and kind of rescue me, help me out of this situation.
That was at that point in time.
It was at that point in time. And so that was another layer of the reason why I wanted to just do my own thing. I didn't ever want someone to have their thumb on me again.
Well, you were motivated by a certain book. And I think in that particular book, it was Nice Women Don't Get Corner Offices.
Yes, it was a book
by...
You
don't seem like you're mean or anything like that.
I'm not mean.
Okay. So why were you so motivated by this book?
Okay, so yes, the book was called Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. It's by Dr. Lois Frankel. In other words, you're not going to get what you want out of life playing nice. And so she differentiates between this term nice and kind. And she says it's okay to be kind. You're respectful, you're cordial, all of those things. But when you start playing nice, now people think they can walk all over you. Now people think you're a doormat. Now you're acquiescing and you're saying yes to things that don't even serve you. And I identified with that. And I said, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. I was playing nice. I never would have been in the situation I was in if I hadn't been playing nice. I can be kind and I can be nice, but the difference is nice, it'll get you in trouble, especially in business.
There are a lot of people that come across very nice, but then they'll screw you in the end. Has that happened to you?
I had to unbecome a lot of things.
You talk about that as well.
I had to unbecome a lot of things because old Shekina, I would say yes. That happened all the time, but not lately.
I think you wrote a book about unbecoming. And that book was targeted to young women, or was it targeted to humans across the board?
It was targeted to women. And the term unbecome came about because I literally had to stop being things that aren't really me. And so unbecoming is about understanding that God already created you. He knew your end from the beginning. So that means he already put everything inside of you in seed form.
How is that different from fake it until you make it? Is there a difference?
I think the only difference between that and faking it until you make it is mindset. You know, I'm doing it until I make it. I'm not faking it.
But if somebody's faking it and you say, hey, you need to unbecome that fake and become what you really want to be for real, how do you do that? You
just own it. I was overweight. But guess what? It wasn't the weight that was the problem. It was the way I viewed myself because of the weight that was the problem. And so if the weight is holding you back, then you have to do something about that. Now, the heavier version of Shekina, you may say, well, if I'm all talking about weight loss and talking about I look good and all that, am I being fake in that moment? Or am I really just seeing myself as I really am, as God really called me to be? And now I have a mindset that I'm willing to unbecome everything that really isn't me so that the real me can shine through.
So being real led to the success of your book becoming the best-selling book.
Yes, absolutely. People love authenticity. So the first book was called Blot of Fears, and I literally chronicled, God shut me up in a room for a couple of days, and he had me put on paper everything I was experiencing. And then he asked me, he said, so if you were going to teach another woman how to unbecome all of this, what would you tell her? What steps would she take? And so I took the women on a 30-day journey. Every single day they had to do something to unbecome all of those things that weren't really them. All the things you accept, being nice, that you don't have to accept, allows you to be kind to yourself, respect yourself, show up for yourself, because you see yourself as God sees you. And that's all I did. It's a passion, you know? The confidence industry is a passion for me.
You actually have a profile of the type of woman that you mentor. And that profile is a woman that looks good on paper.
Yes.
How do you attract that particular woman? How do you bring that woman into your program?
It's my messaging. And so, yes, I'm called to the woman who looks good on paper, but she hasn't yet accepted her greatness.
But what does that mean, look good on paper?
That means your resume is stacked. That means you're successful on paper. You look great on paper, but you don't show up as that person. Like, if I saw you on the street, I would never know that you had this track record, so to speak, or that you were a beast in as an attorney, or a beast in the kitchen, or whatever your industry is.
Those type of women need your services?
Absolutely, they need my services. I work with first ladies, attorneys, judges. Like, I have high-end clientele, and they do need my services, because here's the thing. I don't care how much you've accomplished. If you don't have confidence and you can't exude that confidence in your industry, you're always going to be limited.
You have a number of businesses. You're a very successful entrepreneur, but you work with is it Farr's Best?
Yes. Farr's Best.
Talk more about that. You're the communications director for that company, right?
Yes, I'm a shareholder with the company. I'm also a board member, and I'm the director of education. And so we lead to amplify so many things for Black families, and we are the model. We are the #1 urban family all across America. And our CEO, Andre Farr, my cousin, he actually lives out in Los Angeles, but we have put together something that is just groundbreaking. When you talk about unity, when you talk about collaboration, when you talk about mobilization and educating us, and then making sure that we're successful individually so that collectively we can come together and do great things, unheard of. Everyone across the country is invited to our Saturday meetings where we educate, we inform, socially, politically, things that are going on in the world that affect all of us. And then, of course, locally. And we actually have our walk, run, ride event coming up down here in the South. And I'm excited about that, where we're inviting everyone after Thanksgiving to walk with us. And we're promoting health. I'm focusing on confidence. We're focusing on brand, personal brand. We're focusing on making money and how to invest. there's so many areas that we touch on.
I think that's incredible. How to invest is definitely probably one of the number one things at the top of the list for African Americans, because we don't want to invest. We don't understand that you have to invest money if you want to benefit in the future. So I think that's pretty incredible that you guys are leading that charge.
Thank you.